Good morning, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with the Trumpet for My People. Today's June 25th, 2018, and we're still here. We're still here, and we still have work to do. We still have things we need to understand, and I'm very, very thankful that even though it's very, very hard for us, the longer we wait, the better it is going to be for the world, and the shorter the time of the Great Tribulation. I truly believe that this is part of the shortening of the days, and it's the wearing down of the saints, and it's very, very tough for all of us. I totally agree. It doesn't seem fair. But here we are. Now, before I share this update today, I do want to ask for your financial support. You know, we have been giving our lives for this call and this ministry, being able to watch and the understanding that the Lord has given to us. And it's obviously not a perfect understanding or a totally complete understanding. This is one part of many aspects of what we are watching, and I'm just doing what I'm called to do, and everything that I say is balanced out with many other watchmen, right? And so right now I'm going to share with you a small window of time, but in the midst of this small window of time, I do need to, make sure I'm taking care of my family, and I want to stay on the wall. I want to stay watching. I want to continue. And it's gotten very, very difficult. And so I do want to ask you, excuse me, for your financial support. Whatever you can do, if you have been blessed by this ministry, if you are thankful for the call that the Lord has given to me, if this has helped you step by step along the way as you're waiting, as you're wondering, as you're trying to figure out where we are, and and I'm not exaggerating when I say that thousands of people have thanked me for my ministry and for what I'm doing. But I would just like to ask you today if together with your gratitude and your thankfulness of what I've been called to do and the difficulty of what I've been called to do, that you would send a financial gift. Okay, and the best way right now would be to send that through Western Union, and I will leave all the details in the description box and in the first comment, okay? And you guys know that this has been a long time, and I haven't talked about money for a long, long time. There have been a few occasions where I've mentioned it, but I do my best to stay away from that. I don't want the ministry to be tainted. Well, right now, basically, I think there's already a clear line in the sand about who the scoffers and the mockers are, and it doesn't really matter about them. What we need to do as a body of Christ is we need to stand together. And if you are assured that the Lord has given me a call and has me doing what I'm doing, and you are thankful for that, then I would ask you to please send in a financial gift at this time. And so that's, it's biblical that those who preach the word would live of the word, and I've done my best to sacrifice on my end to not mention this at all. So what I'm going to share with you today is about the birthing event. I believe we've gone through the birthing window. We have reached June 21st. Obviously, nothing happened on June 24th, June 25th, but June 21st was absolutely a key marker in everything. It was an amazing set of signs that came on June 21st to confirm the 9-month marking of the Revelation 12 sign, the peace and safety agreements leading up to that, and the coronation of Obama on June 21st. And so what I want to present to you right now is this scenario of the Antichrist being born on June 21st, that the birthing event took place on June 21st. But there's a process here, and I think you'll be amazed at what we are going to see here. Leviticus chapter 12. Leviticus chapter 12 talks about the birthing rights of the male and the female child. When Jesus was born, he was taken to the temple on the 8th day and he was circumcised. And that was part of a 40-day, a 40-day ritual with the circumcision event and then the presentation in the temple on the 40th day. But with the female child, okay, Jesus, the true Messiah, Jesus Christ, was born of a virgin and fulfilled the 40-day ritual. And we have a ritual within the female that is quite interesting when it talks about a 2-week division of time. And then after 2 weeks, there are 66 days. And so we've got an 80-day ritual within the birth of the female child. And the fact that it's tied to 66 days has given me the understanding that, we have the Antichrist birthing ritual, because Jesus fulfilled the 40 days and the anti-Messiah will fulfill the 80 days. And it has to do with the Antichrist being gay. We were looking at this in December. We also looked at this in September, trying to understand the 80 days. And we tried to, we were thinking that we were arriving at the birthing event in September. So we tried to make it fit there. We looked at the sign of the dragon on December 17th, and we tried to make it fit there. And that was actually 14 days from December 17th to the new year. And then we had the message about the perfect 10, and it was just an amazing time frame that we were watching, and it could have been the end of the year. But right now we have June 21st, and so we have two very important dates if we look at the 14 days and we look at the 66 days. So let's say that this applies to the Antichrist, and the Antichrist was born on June 21st, and there are 14 days. If she bear a child, a girl, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her separation. And she shall continue in the blood of her purifying 66 days. So, June 21st, if we had 14 days, it brings us to July 5th. And July 5th, July 4th, July 5th is the birth of the United States. And so this may be connected to in the male child what would be the circumcision event, the cutting off event. 14 days. And so here is a 14-day window that we're looking at now that may lead us to the cutting off event on July 4th. Now, if we continue on 80 days, 66 more days, from June 21st, going 80 days, brings us to September 9th, 2018. September 9th, 2018. What is September 9th, 2018? It's the Feast of Trumpets. It's the Feast of Trumpets. So we have a timeline that has been leading us from 2014 to 2021, and I will share about that in a minute. But at the same time, we have been watching the signs of the rise of Antichrist since 2009, with the Obama Nobel Peace Prize, the abomination of desolation that took place in March of 2013. And I have on many occasions shared with you, based on all of the details of the complete 70 years and of all the events that have taken place to reveal Obama as the Antichrist. And who can deny now that that Obama is the Antichrist, since he just came out dressed as Satan, and then 3 days later he was crowned. So, we have things that have happened now for those who still deny that Barack Obama is the Antichrist. Okay, he is about to return. And so this would be an amazing scenario, that the 14 days is like our final warning leading up to the cutting off event on July 4th and 5th. And then the 66 days of the impurification, of the continuing in the blood of her purification, 66 days, that would be an amazing time frame if that was the full extent of the Great Tribulation. And here would be an amazing scenario of the return of Jesus Christ on the Feast of Trumpets after 80 days. Now that would be incredible. So I'm just sharing with you today what I see right now. Because, June 21st, there's no doubt we came to a defining marker. John, at Watchman for that great day, said that it was revealed that the thief, there's no doubt that the thief came on June 21st. But he's still lurking in the shadows. He's not been fully manifest yet. He's been revealed, but he has not been manifest. And so if that was the birth event, then we are looking at a 2-week period, looking at July 4th and 5th, and then we have 66 more days that leads us to the Feast of Trumpets. Now that, for a crowning event for the true Messiah, Jesus Christ, the return of Jesus Christ on the Feast of Trumpets. Okay, now, and this would cut short the days, and there's many reasons and many ways that the Lord has cut short the days. And, the Great Tribulation is said to be worse than anything that has ever happened on the earth before. And the flood only lasted for 40 days. The wrath of God lasted for 40 days. And so here we have a time frame of 14 days leading up to the cutting off event, and 66 days that lead us to the Feast of Trumpets. And this has been my interpretation for a long time about when I believe Everything will end in 2018. 70 weeks are determined to bring in the Messiah, to bring an end to sin. I've always wondered how that could all be true and still see us going into 2021. But anyway, right now, we're definitely past this final Pentecost marker. Where do we go from here? So I got to searching about the 80 days and how it's connected to the birth of the United States, the Feast of Trumpets, and is this what we need to wait for? Is this the marker on iPet Goat that shows everything going down with the fireworks on July 4th? Here's our timeline going back to the Feast of Trumpets in 2014, when Barack Obama sat on the United Nations Security Council. Adding 1,335 days to that brought us to May 21st this year, the Pope abomination, and 30 days brought us to the Summer Solstice and the coronation of Obama on June 21st. So, where do we go from here? Okay, what I'm trying to do right now today is share with you in a nutshell what I see and how it's connected to the birth event. An amazing possibility of there being only 80 days left, leading us to the Feast of Trumpets, which would be an amazing marker for the actual return of Jesus Christ at the second coming, the end of the Great Tribulation. And I know this. There's a lot of people that don't see this, but I know this for sure. When the rapture happens, the wrath of God is going to be poured out. And it's not going to take long for the destruction of the world. When you're looking at, number one, it says when the devil has come down to you, he comes with great wrath because he knows his time is short. And at the same time, we have the wrath of God. I mean, if you can imagine a world under the complete desperation, not only is the wrath of God being poured out, it's the wrath of Satan upon the people of God who want to remain faithful to the name of Christ during that time of great tribulation. And the wrath of Satan will be poured out. Well, God is pouring out the wrath upon the wicked and upon the unbelievers. So we know that on June 17th, Barack Obama came out dressed as Satan. We know that 3 days later, in spite of the fact that Barack Obama has repeatedly shown himself to be the devil in many, many different ways, but his photo just came out and he still is crowned by Fox News, saying that he's the real Messiah, honored by scientists, naming a sea fossil after him that is a complete blasphemy, the coronation of Obama on June 21st. So, why are we still here? If this was the coronation event, and this was the birth event, why are we still here? Well, I see it connected to the birthing ritual. And I was quite amazed that from June 21st to the Feast of Trumpets, there are 80 days. And within the 80 days, there are 14 days to the birth of the United States, July 4th and 5th. So what I am sharing now is that June 21st was the birth event. But there's a 14-day window given in the book of Leviticus. And 66 days remain after the circumcision event. Okay? So, Obama is going to be manifest very soon. And what I see right now has us waiting till approximately July 4th. What more is going to happen over the next week or 2 weeks, right? I mean, we don't have 14 days left because it's already June 25th. So we basically have 10 days now. 10 days left until July 4th. So I know this message is very difficult to understand. Very, very difficult. Nothing that is happening right now is the way anyone would have ever expected us to see the end times. But what we can't deny the signs that have come, that Obama was crowned on June 21st. And if there's one reason that I would ask you, if you hesitate considering, I'm not saying you have to believe me outright, but if you hesitate to consider what I'm sharing, I would just ask you to remember this. 3 or 4 days before June 21st, I shared that Obama would be crowned on June 21st. And on June 21st, Barack Obama was crowned. So I have not been given full, complete knowledge and understanding, but there are amazing revelations that if it were not for the Holy Spirit and the power of the understanding that the Lord has given to me, there's no way I could have ever known or predicted or prophesied, because it was a prophecy that Obama would be crowned on June 21st. And he was. So how did I know that? Well, the Lord is speaking. The Lord is working. The Lord is leading us. So, if that helps, I pray that would help you, just to consider, just to pray. Take this to prayer. Ask the Lord about what I'm sharing. Is this true? Is it possible? Ask the Lord about July 4th. Ask the Lord about September 9th, Feast of Trumpets. Ask the Lord about the shortening of the days. I believe with all my heart that if you ask, you will receive. So many people have given their testimonies of how the Lord reveals to them, and they're in the middle of their prayer and the Lord speaks. They're in the middle of the prayer, and the Lord is leading them and confirming. And God is so attent right now to those who are truly seeking Him. So if you want to know the truth, take it to prayer. Bring it before the Lord. It's not going to help anybody to try to debate with me on my page about another date. Okay, if you want to know the truth, take it to the Lord in prayer. Ask the Lord where we are. Okay, so I do want to ask you again before I close this message. Please, if you are blessed by this ministry, please consider sending in a financial donation. I will make it as simple as I can through the description box and through the first comment on this video, so you can have all the information to send in a donation if you would so desire. I pray you are blessed today, and that we can all make it to the finish line together. And I sure hope this is over quick, because it gets crazier by the day. I know, it's crazy. It's so hard to understand. Thank you for listening, and I will continue searching about what we can expect next. I pray you're blessed today. This is Steve Fletcher with the trumpet for my people, the sign of His coming revealed.